We're out here at the Great Salt Lake in Utah. We're following the story of Emmett Claren, who's a young Mormon, an LGBTQ activist who's getting ready to undergo top surgery later this week.
Hello everyone, it's Emmett, and today I am 6 months on T. Also, tomorrow is a big day. I am having surgery, and I am super excited. I've been waiting for this for so long.
Hi, Emmett.
Hey.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right, so
Yes.
where are you taking us?
Yeah, I'm gonna take you around, just show you around Orem, Provo, where I usually drive around, and I'll take you past my church building and also the temple.
Emmett left home in Nebraska at age 19 to spend a year and a half as a sister missionary in Utah. When he completed his mission, Emmett returned home, but soon after, he decided to move back to Utah permanently and begin his transition into a man.
I don't know if this sounds crazy, but I always knew that there was a reason that I served in Utah. I feel kind of like I'm supposed to be here to help broaden perspectives that people have on the LGBT community, especially in Utah. A lot of people here are very conservative and closed-minded, and if I leave, how am I supposed to make a difference? When I created my coming out story on YouTube, I just decided, I'm gonna be open about my story. Hello everyone, it's Emmett. I am 5 months on testosterone. I wanted to document my entire transition, and I wanted to be there as a support to anybody who was Mormon and transgender. I wanted to give somebody hope. When I told my bishop about being trans, he's like, we don't know very much about trans people. We don't really know how to counsel people who are trans, so this is between you and God.
With no official doctrine on transgender members, Emmett was barred from entering his temple, and he now risks complete excommunication from the Mormon Church for undergoing his surgery. When was the last time you went inside the temple?
The last time I went inside of a temple, July or August of last year.
Wow.
And I got my temple recommend taken away because my bishop and stake president don't think that I'm doing what's right, so I'm no longer allowed to enter the temple. To be honest, right now, having this black gate right here between me and the temple, it makes me feel like I can't get into where I want to be. But at the same time, I don't feel like it's God pushing me out. I feel like it's leaders of the church who don't have guidance right now, and they're scared.
Before Emmett's surgery to remove his breasts, he showed me how he's been coping with his gender dysphoria with binders. Similar to corsets, they help flatten his chest, but come with a host of other physical complications.
This is to flatten my chest.
Yeah.
As flat as it can be. I mean, my chest is triple D, so.
Does it hurt?
Yeah, because it's pushing my ribs, it's compressing them, and so I can't breathe all the way. So it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I've wanted my breasts removed since they started growing, since I was 12. And then it's just crazy that after all of those years, in one day they're gonna be gone. Like tomorrow they are going to be gone.
Yeah.
This is where I feel closest to God. It's on the mountain, just away from people, kind of almost looking out at the world through God's eyes, I guess. It's just, this is where I go to be alone and to think. So I was a missionary, and I served as a sister missionary. I was always in a skirt or a dress.
And at that point, did you know that you wanted to be in a man's body?
I always knew, but I kind of got to the point where I was just like, it's never gonna happen for me. The church will never accept it. My parents will never accept it.
Right.
So I just kind of gave up, and I was just like, okay, how can I be as happy as I can in a female body?
So how long did that period last for before you decided to make a change?
It was a few months. I got home from my mission in March, and then I was suicidal in May. May was the worst month. That was when I was just like, I'm done. I don't want to be here anymore. I can't do this anymore. And after an unsuccessful suicide attempt and many nights sitting by the railroad tracks waiting for a train or going to the highway waiting for a semi to come, that's when I went and I just prayed, and I was just like, what am I supposed to do? Why would you do this to me? Why would you put me in this body and make me feel miserable? And why me of all people? I feel like I'm a good person. And all these memories that I had kind of pushed back in the back of my mind, wanted to forget about, all these memories of me being a kid and wishing that, you know, I'd been a boy just like my brother, and wishing I had short hair and that my name was different. All of those memories just like flooded me, and it was just like, click. I am transgender. I don't even know how to describe it. It was just like warmth. It just felt like God was just saying, you're my son, and I love you, and this is who you are, and it's okay. And I remember just like getting on my knees and looking up and just crying and just being like, okay, this is me, and I'm gonna be myself. Here we are. Yes.
Y'all waiting for your presents?
Yeah. My food. Yeah. Hey.
Hello.
Thank you so much.
Rachel, Jimmy, Sarah. The night before Emmett's surgery, we went to a monthly meetup with his friends from the Transgender Mormon community in Utah. They've been a primary network of support for Emmett during his transition, and we wanted to find out more about their experiences transitioning in the Mormon Church.
Dude, your voice though.
Your hair.
It's been a long time.
Many of us as transgender, and specifically like the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, it's so difficult because I'd be more comfortable transitioning if I felt more permission from like my family or God or the church, and when I don't get that, I just get really confused.
Right now, there isn't a lot of guidance around how the church wants to work or include the transgender community, right? So as it's evolving, where is most of the guidance or the influence coming from?
You get what's called leadership roulette, which is where some leaders are extremely supportive. Then you have other bishops that will be like, I'm going to excommunicate you if you transition. And so there is no guidance.
Right.
Yeah, no, I've actually come out to like 8 different bishops, and I've gotten a huge range of answers from like, oh, you're going to get excommunicated if you go down that route, or you know, one bishop that was very, very accepting.
So my question is, why do you guys want to stay?
I know that I'm going against the grain of what the church says, but in doing so, I'm thinking I'm opening some eyes in that church.
But then what about the places where you're not allowed to be and you can't be seen? How do you negotiate that part of the church?
The month after I transitioned, I went and bore my testimony. And 2 months before that, I did it in a suit and tie, and then I did it in a skirt and blouse. The scariest thing I've ever done. And I said, my being here is problematic, but it's the answer to a lifetime of prayers.
Thanks for staying up so late. To cover the cost of Emmett's top surgery to remove his breasts, he saved up some of his own money, but also received thousands of dollars in donations through a crowdfunding site from friends, allies, and supporters who found him through his social media and YouTube pages.
I just want to thank everybody who so far has donated to my surgery.
We went with him to the hospital to be there for this long-awaited moment. I'm excited. Oh.
I'm like, I feel like I'm sitting on like, floating on clouds right now. I can't stop smiling.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy and excited and nervous, like all these feelings right now.
I'm so excited for you.
Oh, thank you.
Emmett got prepared for surgery accompanied by a friend who documented it for Emmett's YouTube project.
All right, you guys will take great care of him, okay?
Bye, Emmett.
All right.
While Emmett was in surgery, I spoke with his friend, who is also Mormon and transgender, about the surgery and his conflict with the faith. He chose to remain anonymous due to the considerable repercussions he could face from being outed.
So Emmett is finally getting his top surgery, and it's such a big, important day. I really want to be there for him as a friend. When I had my surgery, I was by myself and halfway across the country. So he doesn't have his family here with him, so I wanted to be that for him.
For people who have never experienced or even been around a surgery like this, can you describe for us what it's like?
It is literally a life-changing surgery to finally be able to be in a body that feels like your own. It's not this alien thing or like this tumor on your chest, you know. It's this is your body. This is what it was supposed to look like, and it's relief to finally have that.
Emmett just got out of the hospital. We're gonna go check up on him and see how he's doing before we say goodbye. Hey, how you feeling?
I am tired and slightly nauseous, but I took medication for it.
All right. Well, I know you're really tired, so I'll let you go. But I just wanted to say goodbye.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, we'll be in touch, so I'll let you go. But we'll check on you soon. Okay.
I was supposed to have this chest a long time ago.
That looks so good. Nice and flat.
It's kind of scary right now, but this is Emmett's chest now. It's not Eva's anymore. I don't want to be part of a church that doesn't love me anymore or accept me. But every time I thought that, it was only a moment. It was just like, I can't leave. The way that I worship is by going to church. And that is how I will continue to worship, even if I get kicked out, you know, I'll still come every Sunday because that's how I show God that I'm committed to Him. We each have our own ways, and I'm gonna be myself and stay in this church.